All right, welcome back to where we make it make sense. Now we're talking about variable intervals. It's still a schedule of reinforcement, but we need to remember that variable means that it's going to vary, that they're not quite sure how much time has to pass before they receive the reinforcement. And remember that interval has to do with time. So anytime you see interval, you know that there's a time or a duration of time that has to pass in order for you to give that reinforcement to your client. All right, so let's look at the actual definition. A schedule of reinforcement that provides reinforcement for the first occurrence following the elapse of a variable duration of time occurring in a random or unpredictable order. The mean duration of the interval is used to describe the schedule. All right, so we're going to use a VI10. In the previous example on variable ratio, we used the VR10, so why not use the VI10? So the difference here is, instead of responses, we're going to have time periods that need to elapse. So we'll use similar. So here we'll have 6 seconds, 15 seconds, 3 seconds, 13 seconds, 18 seconds. So we have our intervals, which are seconds. So we still have you with your client, and we still have the drum. These are going to be the drumsticks. So the client is going to have to beat the drum for 6 seconds. When the timer goes off, then they're going to reinforce. 15 seconds, timer goes off, you reinforce. Same thing all the way down. You're going to reinforce. Okay? So it's exactly what it says. So before you even get ready to start, the very first time they hit the drum, so you have your first response, you're going to give them the reinforcement, and then you're going to start the timer. And then you'll just set it for the different intervals. Now, the first hit, boom, good job. Then they'll keep hitting it for the 6 seconds will pass. Boom, here's your reinforcer. 13 seconds. Oh, 13 seconds passed. Here's your reinforcer. So with variable intervals, it's the same deal. Notice here that it still talks about the mean also. So it's the same thing. You're going to add up your time. So you would have a VI of average of them, a VI10. So same exact scenario. So remember, when you're dealing with a variable interval, the first correct response starts it. You give them, and then you start your timer. And you set your timers for different intervals. Now the good thing is, because time has passed on, technology is great, they do make interval clocks to where you can preset those intervals into these little stopwatches. Some are called potty clocks, interval watches. They're easy. You can purchase them. You can Amazon, Google them, find them, but it makes it a little bit easier than trying to just use a standard clock. Or you can also, if you have your phones, you can set alarms to go off, because you can set multiple alarms within whatever intervals you want to use. So just a quick tip on how you can do it. But variable interval, remember that the time is going to vary. Once the time has passed, then you'll reinforce your client. And there you have it, the schedule reinforcement, variable interval.